Greetings, everybody. My name is Cesare Warren. I am a professor, a musician, artist, and I am the author of Centering Possibility in Black Education, being published this spring, April 2021, on Teachers College Press, Columbia University. And this is Centering Possibility Live. Centering Possibility Live is an opportunity to get to know the artists who are behind many of the pieces that you will read or see in this book. I wanted to take a moment and create a series of conversations that would act as a companion piece to the book. So the spoken word pieces, the rap lyrics you see in the art, the images and photographs were contributed by artists from all around the United States. And so this series will give you an opportunity to meet some of those artists. And today I'm really excited to open up the series with the artist whose work adorns the cover of the book that you see on screen right now. And I'm going to bring none other than Nate Austin to the stage to join us. Nate, how you doing, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Nate also happens to be a member of the finest fraternity known to man, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So I'm very excited to share some space with my dear frat brother and just a generous spirit. Since he and I connected about the book, I have fallen in love with his work. I've shared it with everybody that I could share it with, and have purchased pieces for my home. So I'm very excited to have the book sort of bring us together and bring us into community with one another. So Nate, tell us about you. I know you're in Cleveland, so you're a fellow Midwesterner, but tell us about who is Nate Austin. What do the people need to know about you?
I think I had a pretty interesting yet simple upbringing. I grew up here in Cleveland, inner city Cleveland, the hood, as most people say. And I was always known as the kid in the hood that can draw. Drawing and being an artist is not the same thing. Eventually, being able to put ideas and thoughts into or in collaboration with being able to draw, the ability to kind of be able to draw, that kind of makes a person an artist in a sense. So that's kind of like my upbringing and kind of learning how to adapt and bring that part together. Eventually, throughout college when I went to University of Toledo, that's when I kind of started to add the conscious portion of the art to what I do. And eventually, I guess it took off. I mean, I took some years off from doing art, and then got back to it and got back here to Cleveland and did it more so out of passion and not necessarily something to do out of obligation. Something to do, just bring it full circle, I guess.
Yeah, it's so dope when not enough of us get the message as young people to pursue our passion, and we go in different directions. But it's always a beautiful thing when we can find our way back to what really inspires us and gives us joy. And speaking of joy, the world is crazy. I don't need to list all the names of those who we've lost
Right.
at the state violence, and those who we've lost that we don't even know their names. But in the midst of that, how are you finding and grasping after joy?
Honestly, I think it goes to just being centered. For me, it's very hard, as you said. It's very hard, and sometimes it's depressing. Being a black man here in America or a black individual in America, and you constantly see images, you constantly see videos, or in small ways in your day-to-day interaction that reminds you of who you are and the way the world reviews you and your ranking in America, and those who look like you, how they're ranked in America. It's like almost depressing a lot of the times. But at the same time, I can also find the beauty in the fact that who we are and what we do as a people. We're so unique, we're so gifted, we're so talented, we're so intelligent. The way we produce and the way we even go about art, even whether it's dance, it's music, the way we express, because art is like the most basic form of self-expression in any kind of form. And the way we do it is very unique. It has a certain type of flair, whether it's a visual artist, to a saxophone player, to a dancer, to a writer. We have a unique flair that we bring to the table. I mean, like, you look at Basquiat. Basquiat revolutionized the way modern art is now.
Mm.
A lot of artists, they bite off that style. So in any genre, we do that, and that in itself gives me joy. Just knowing that what's in us, innate, that thing that's built into us, that we can't escape, is always going to find its way to leak out. And and I love to tap into that. So whenever I'm working and doing some kind of piece of art, in a sense, it's almost like an out of body experience, where it's like I don't get hungry. I can sit there and work, and that in itself, being one with my piece, that just brings me joy. Feeling like I'm being centered. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. That's the kind of thing that kind of gives me joy, I would say.
Oh, that's super dope. That's super dope. Well, I'm glad that I get to get to bear witness to that art on the other side of its creation, and to bring that spirit and that energy into my home, and to share that with the folks with whom I'm in community here locally. And with that, I am really interested to hear you just talk a little bit about your motivation for contributing to a book that is meant to recast and reimagine Blackness as something that is full of beauty and possibility. And your art, who you are as an artist, you depict Black life and Black people in such a beautiful way. Your work just pays honor to us and our strength and our contributions to the world. So tell me, as you saw that call that went out about artists submitting to this book, what moved you to want to be a part of that?
Well, first, the first things first, I saw that there was a positive Black man trying to do something well. So that's the first thing. Off rip, you already got my attention. It's a Black man trying to do something positive. But then also, I read about what the idea was behind the book. So that automatically, kind of gravitated me toward that. So just giving, I feel like the book in itself, especially if it reaches out to different artists and different types of genres, different forms of art. Is a good way to put that message out there, the different positivity. But it's the first thing that I like, is just to be able to appreciate the freedom through creativity, the creative expression that others have, and just to be a part of that. Because I'm always inspired by other artists, no matter what genre it is. I'm always inspired by them. And just being able to feed off that type of energy, even seeing it or reading it, that kind of energy keeps me motivated and keeps me going. So that's definitely one of the reasons why I was definitely interested in being part of something like that. Because I mean, like, if just the title alone, I guess, was pretty much a big deal for me as well, I should say.
Dope. And with that, I got to the end of the book and had another direction for the cover. I was working with another artist, and it sort of, fell through. And as I was putting things together to get ready to send the book off to press, I was just struck by the piece that Nate submitted called "Ode to Henrietta Lex," and I want to bring the original piece on screen and just have you talk a little bit about what is this piece like, what inspired it, and what connections do you make between the heart and spirit of this piece and you're creating it, and this broader concept of possibility, and in particular, what it means for possibility to drive how we approach educating Black kids.
Mm.
What connections do you make?
Well, funny thing about educating Black kids and the possibilities topic is, this book, I actually got the book because I work in high school. I saw this book looking around. Mind you, I've already heard of Henrietta Lacks. I heard the stories, but I didn't actually get to read about it. So, and the more you read about it, the book kind of goes a little more into detail about her personal life, the way she was treated, how, in a sense, she was almost like a prisoner and only being used. Everyone's taking from her. But I drew those kind of parallels to not necessarily, even though the medical world is still using her DNA today to cure different types of diseases. It's still being used today, and she's been gone well over God knows how long she's been gone. But I drew a parallel between her and what she does with the black woman, how black women are, people take a lot from black women. People take and steal and use as much as they can. But then it's not necessarily just black women. It's about individuals in general. Black individuals, black bodies are almost often used as tools. So I can take from you. I can draw from your creativity. I can draw from your looks, your beauty. I'll take your style. I'll take your culture. Anything that's profitable for me, I'll take that from you, and then use it for my own gain. But at the same time, I feel like what we should do within our own culture is be that to ourselves. If there's a way that we can invest and pour out ourselves, so to allow others around us, the young people, the people who are coming up behind us, next generations, we can pour out to them, willingly pour out to them, so that we can invest in them, so that their future is impacted. Now, mind you, in this piece here, I was driven. The feeling I was driven was this anger, and in the background you'll see are actual pages from the book. God, I'm trying to remember the name of the book. It's been so long ago, so I did this piece, but those are actual pieces from the book. So if you can actually read some of the words and some of the quotes from her, but yeah, so I mean, like that was really like what drove me to work on the piece. But the goal is just so that it can inspire other individuals in a sense, and we can have that same type of effect, but just more in a positive light, I should say.
Yeah, I think the book is called The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks.
Yes, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, yes.
Yeah. And part of what there's so many things, and I want readers to look at this image and read the book and draw their own conclusions. But one of the things that drew me to it in chapter 1, this image actually appears on the cover, but it also appears in chapter 1 of the book, where I make the case for the significance of freedom dreams, in particular, coherent visions of freedom that are tied to an unyielding, deep and enduring belief in Black people's possibility, that is connected to the many different versions of transgression and triumph that marks Black history, that emphasizes Black people as not just the subject or the object of other people's wrongdoing, that we have carved out and made space in a world that has consistently transmitted a message of our disposability. And part of what this piece said to me, those hands were like the ancestors sort of guiding this young person. And I like the on the cover, it's sort of gender queer. You don't know if it's a boy or if it's a girl. I think it's just so representative of our variety and our vastness as a people, but that we're always being guided by the ancestors, that we are never not without some help, that are those spirits and souls who've gone before us. So I just find it to be just so ominous and beautiful, and was excited that you graciously allowed it to be the cover of the book. So thank you for your heart and for your art. This is lovely. So I won't hold you much longer. How do people get in touch with you?
So you can visit my website. It is artbynfa.com, or you can follow me on Instagram, artby_Nate Austin. You can check me out there if you'd like as well. I think that's pretty much it.
Dope. Listen, brother Austin, I appreciate you. And my special, his name is last name is Austin, Brother Austin.
Okay.
Thank you so much for spending some time today to talk about this work, and I'm excited for this to get in people's hands wherever it is in the world, and now they have an opportunity to know who is behind it, and I look forward to where this work continues to go.
So I appreciate it. Thank you.
So, folks, that's it. This is episode 1, and I'm so excited for you to meet all of the wonderful artists who have done work and contributed. There will be a few live performances, and there will be different artists sharing different pieces. But in order for you to really get into the art, obviously, you need to get the book. The book is now available. I encourage you to get it from wherever you purchase books. Support a Black-owned or Black femme small business, small bookstore. But you can also go to my website, ChezareWarren.com, to learn more about the book and to learn where you might purchase it. And I look forward to continuing this conversation far beyond this series. Thank you for spending a little time with me wherever you are today. And until we meet again, be well, be good to yourself, and be good to others.